Good evening, everyone. This is Marcin, FM Cosmetics UK Corporate Trainer. Welcome to my webinar tonight. Just please use the chat and let me know that you can hear me properly so we can get started. Okay, so everything is perfect. Now, the first thing that I would like to do before I start, I would like you to participate in a short poll. Today's webinar is the second part. It's about Facebook, about social media, how to advertise, how to boost your business using social media, particularly Facebook. So I would like to ask you one simple question. So let me just open the poll. So here is a question. So have you ever used Facebook paid advertising? So just a few seconds, you can press yes, you can press no. It depends on whether you use that or not. So it's quite interesting. So just a few more seconds for voting. Okay, I'm gonna finish the voting and show you the results. So as you can see, 26% of you used Facebook advertising, the paid campaign, and 33% no. So I've got a question for those who used the 26%. How did you find it? Did you find it useful? Did you find it beneficial for your business, or rather not? So I'm waiting for your replies on chat. So I can see Nikki answered no. So you didn't see any positive results. Chris, 50-50. Boosted views, Linda. Okay, so personally, I think that if you do it in the right way, Facebook advertising campaigns may bring a lot of positive benefits to your business. But as with everything, you need to have a very clear strategy in order to prepare your Facebook campaign. Facebook gives you a very good marketing tool that you can use to your advantage. For example, when you advertise in a local newspaper, when you advertise delivering leaflets, then you target everyone. In Facebook, the story is a little bit different. In Facebook, you need to customize your audience very, very precisely in order to get good results. And also, you need to consider other things like analyzing your data or analyzing your insights in order to improve your campaign. So if you advertise on Facebook with blindfold on, definitely the advertising is gonna be a waste of money. But if you consider the steps I'm gonna give you today, I'm sure that slowly you'll be getting better and better results. So let's get started. So how to meet the people who will love your business? First of all, you need to have your business page. If you don't have your business page, if you advertise using your personal profile, definitely it's not going to give you any benefits. So that's number one. And I discussed the benefit of having your business page in my last webinar. So when you've got your business page, then you need to decide what you want to promote. What do you want to promote? Do you want to promote your products? If yes, which ones do you want to promote? Would you like to promote your fragrances in the first place, makeup, maybe skincare, or maybe other of our products? If you are quite broad in promoting different products, it's going to be very difficult to get people's attention. Apart from products, you may advertise your business. You may advertise your replica website. How many of you who participate in the webinar today, how many of you already have customized FM group replica site? Yeah? So, Nikki, you've got it. Eileen, yes. Tracy, no. Stephen, yes. Alicia, no. I really recommend you to get the replica site as quickly as possible, because without having a replica site or without having your own website, it's going to be quite difficult to get good results with Facebook advertising campaigns. So, number two, as I said, you need to decide what you want to promote. Number three is to choose the audience for your Facebook advert. You need to be very, very precise while choosing the audience. You cannot just target the whole UK if you have only 20 or 50 pounds per day to spend, because you're not going to get good results. And I'm going to get to this point a bit later on. And finally, number four, you will have to set your budget, and then you have to track your results. Without tracking the results and constantly improving your strategy, you will fail with Facebook advertising. So the strategy is a key to success. So now, the first step that you have to take is to log into your personal profile, because you can create your advert from your personal profile. So this is my personal profile. I created previously Federica Mahora business page. That's just to show you in my previous webinar how to set up the business page. So when you click this small arrow, then you will have a button, Create Adverts. Then you need to click on it, and then you will be directed to another window. A new window will appear. Facebook campaign structure is based on 3, sometimes 4 steps if you are advertising for the first time. The first step is to prepare the objective of the campaign. The next one is to create your advert account. Then you need to create advert set, which constitutes of setting up your audience, setting up the budget and scheduling, and finally the advert itself. So you will have to use your creativity in order to design the advert, in order to write the copy, and finally in order to verify if everything is intact. So Facebook gives you few different options that you can choose from in order to prepare your advertising campaign. You can boost your post from your business website, Facebook business website. You can promote your Facebook business page. You can send people to your website or to your replica website. You can increase conversion on your website. So people take a particular action on your website. And you've got many, many more different options. So for today's webinar, I'm going to choose Send People to Your Website. So as soon as you click this option, Send People to Your Website, a new option will appear. A new window will appear. So in this place, you will have to type in your replica website address. As soon as you type in your replica website address here, the next option will appear. Something which is called Facebook Pixel. Have you heard about Facebook Pixel, and do you know what is it for? When you prepared your advertising campaign to promote your website or your replica website, have you created a pixel? Not really. No. No. This is very important. So the Facebook pixel code can be used for three main functions. Number one, building custom audiences from your website for remarketing. Number two, optimizing ads for conversions. And number three, tracking conversions and attributing them back to your ad. So now, before we create a pixel, I just want to show you here, I just want to draw your attention to this point, campaign name. Here you can type in your campaign's name. It can be your name, it can be your FM group business name, whatever it is. Choose something unique. As soon as you type in your campaign name, click Create a Pixel. If you do that, a new window will appear. Here, you need to create a unique pixel name. So I've put my name, Marcin Wojtaszek's Pixel. So that's gonna be the name of the pixel I'm going to create. And obviously you need to tick that you agree with Facebook pixel terms. We don't really have time to go through the terms, but I recommend you to go through the terms as well. And then you just press Create Pixel. Your pixel is going to have a specific ID, and you've got two options. You can install the pixel now on your replica site or on your own website, or you can email the pixel code to a third party if you can't do it yourself. Then the third party will be able to enter the HTML code on your replica site or on your website in order to install the code. But don't worry, it's nothing difficult. Everyone can do it, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. So if you click Install Pixel Now, a new window will appear. So in the first part of the window here, there is the pixel code which you add to your replica site, and just below here there is a conversion tracking button. We're going to focus on the first part of the page, on the pixel code, which is absolutely essential if you want to see whether your Facebook advert works or not. Also, it's going to be very essential in order to build up your customized audience later on, and in order to make some improvements by testing different types of advertisement you're going to put on Facebook. So here's the code. Now, if you have your own website, or if you have a FM replica site, you have to get access to HTML. I'm going to show you today how to do it with your back office of your replica site. You need to log in to your replica site back office, and then those of you who's got the replica site perhaps know that that sort of window will appear there. So you've got the content and you've got your website. This is on your replica site, right? If you click website, then you will unfold the tree, and perhaps your name, if you chose your name as a subname for your replica site, will appear. Here we can see John Smith. this is just a sample, a testing replica site that I've used in order to show you how to install the pixel code. So we're here, and then this window will be on your left-hand side, John Smith. If you click John Smith, a new window appears on your right-hand side, sorry. Then you need to press this button, which is called source. The source is the access to the HTML code of your main replica site. If you press on that, you will access the HTML code. Here, between head and head, you will insert the pixel code from Facebook. So now, you've opened the HTML code on your replica site, so you have to go back to Facebook and you have to select all the pixel code. You can use Ctrl+C to copy it. Then you have to go to your replica site again. And you have to insert, you have to paste your unique pixel code between head and head using Ctrl+V. I hope it's clear so far. So I indicated your pixel code here. Now we're going back to Facebook. We've already copied the pixel code, which is absolutely essential, as I mentioned. Now we're gonna choose a conversion tracking. So you've got many different options for the conversion tracking, depending on what sort of information would you like to gather from people who will be directed to your replica website from the Facebook paid advertising campaign. But for this webinar, I'm going to choose leads. So you're going to track when a user expresses interest in your offering, because they're going to see, obviously, FM products on your replica site and so forth. So we're going to choose leads. Here's the code. I'm going to enlarge it a little bit. So that's leads, and that's the code that you have to select and copy. If you copy the code from the conversion tracking, then you go again to your replica site. We paste here the pixel code, and just underneath the code, you're going to paste here, exactly in this place where the script is. Here's the code. You are going to paste the conversion tracking. So just to summarize once again how it works. Between head and head on your replica HTML code, you need to insert your pixel code. The red one. That's the pixel code. And just underneath the pixel code, you need to insert the conversion tracking in order to follow the leads. As soon as you do that, you go to your replica site and you need to save all the changes that you've made. As soon as you've done it, then you go back to Facebook and you click on the button Done. Let's move on. Then you will be directed to the previous window, and you need to select the pixel code that you've already created with a specific ID number. If you do that, then you press Create an Advert account. So then we're moving to the second step. So what have we done so far? What have we discussed so far? First of all, you've created your campaign's objective, which is direct people to your website or direct people to your replica website. Secondly, you generated your pixel code, and also you generated your tracking code about leads. And number 4, you've installed your pixel and your tracking code on your replica site, and you save that. Now we're moving to step number 2, which is creating an advert account. That step will have to be taken only when you create a brand new Facebook advertising account. Later on, you're gonna skip this step and you're gonna go directly to advert set. So this step is quite easy. You need to choose which country do you live in. So we are choosing the United Kingdom, which currency you'll be using in order to pay for your Facebook campaign. So we are choosing British pound sterling. Also, you'll be required to set the time zone, and then you can click to see more options. If you click to see more options, then you can name your advert account. So I just put my own name and surname, and then you you save it. And now we are going to move to set your audience and your budget. So step number 2 was to create your advert account. Step number 3 is to set your advert. We're going to focus on audience here, on budget, and also on the schedule. So when you define your audience, you need to consider few things. Very often, especially new people who've never advertised on Facebook, they don't really customize the audience and they target too broadly. They target the whole UK, so 60 million people. The thing is, if you have only 5 or 10 or 20 pounds per day to spend on your Facebook campaign, it is impossible to target 5, even 10 million people. Perhaps it would be possible if you have 5,000 pounds to spend per day in order to target millions of people. What you are looking for, especially if you live in a smaller town in the UK, you need to target just the local area, just the local audience, because for that sort of budget, you're gonna be very successful. So here, for this tutorial, for the webinar, I'm gonna choose the UK, and also I'm going to be more specific in terms of location. I'm gonna target just London. So the second option to include is London. You can put here the name of your town, you can put here the postcode of the place that you would like to target, and so forth. So the more specific you become with Facebook audience, the better for you, and the campaign later on will bring you more benefits. You will see more positive results. The more broad your audience is, the less positive results you will see if you target your audience. So I'm choosing London here, but also Facebook gives me the opportunity to move a little bit outside. So I decided to choose the United Kingdom, London, and also the area 40 kilometers around London. You can do that, but it is not necessarily. As I said, all depends on how much money you can spend on Facebook advertising campaign. The next step is to define your audience based on age, gender, and language. So this is the demographic verification, the demographic definition. Would you like to target everyone between 18 and 65 plus, or you would like to a bit narrow your audience? Ask yourself, what sort of people will be interested in the product that you're selling, that you're promoting? And then try to narrow it a little bit. So far, I'm gonna select 18 to 65. The next step is, are you going to target everyone, men and women, or you're going to target only men or maybe only women? This is quite important priority as well, and you need to ask yourself, how about the language? Are you going to target every single person regardless the language, or you prefer your advertising materials in English, and you're going to select English here. All the things matter. Have a look here. When I defined my audience based on that algorithm, then my potential reach is about 8,700,000 people before I set the budget. So I think it's quite a lot of people, because this is like whole London. Because as far as I'm aware, in London, there are 8 million people plus. So for £5 a day or £10 a day, I'm not going to reach all of them. Definitely not. So let's move on and choose the language. I'm going to choose English, obviously, both UK and US English. And finally, let me just tell you a little bit about other options that you will have to consider and why they're very important. So we need to be very specific about who we would like to reach with our Facebook adverts. So here is what I've prepared for you. You can target your adverts based on certain characteristic or algorithms. For example, you can choose location, and then you can reach your customers in the areas where they live or where they do business with you, or they will do the business with you. You can target by country, by region, by postcode, even area around your business. As I said before during my training sessions, start where you are and then go outside. Don't target the whole country, don't target the whole world. Next, it's demographics. So the customers your business serves are on Facebook. All of them are on Facebook. So you can choose the audience that should see your advert by selecting proper age, gender, interests, and even the language they speak, as I showed you. The next thing is interests by itself. So when people are interested in your business, they're more likely to take action on your advert. So choose from hundreds of different categories, such as shopping, skincare, cosmetics, perfume, to help your new audience find you. And that will help you to find the right people as well, because you're not going to target people who indicated in their Facebook interests that they're interested in cars, they're interested in technology, and so forth, because it's going to be so difficult to find those ones who will be interested in perfume, skincare, and so forth. Perhaps you will be able to find some people interested in that sort of people's category, but it's going to be like looking for a needle in a haystack, if you know what I mean. So it is much better to precisely indicate what sort of interests the people that you're going to target have, and target them. Also, you can target people based on their behaviors. You know your customers best, and you can find them based on their things they do, such as shopping behavior. Facebook gives you the opportunity to select people based on different behaviors. So for example, if you already have some people following your business page and you know their email addresses, you can provide Facebook with those people's email addresses, and Facebook will find similar people to them based on their email addresses, because Facebook cooperates with very big companies which gather data about our behaviors online. So they know exactly what sort of websites do we browse. They know exactly where did we go shopping online last time and what did we buy, and so forth. So based on a telephone number, based on an email address, Facebook will be able to find similar people. So if you have followers on Facebook who love FM products, who love skincare products, and also who love fragrances, etc., Facebook will find similar people to those ones that you already have. You can include those people that already follow you in your campaign, or you can exclude them if you want. The next thing is connections. You can reach the people who like your page or your app, if you have an app, for instance, and reach their friends too. It's an easy way to find even more people who may be interested in your business. This is very interesting because you've got your team members, or you may have your retail customers who follow your Facebook business page, and then you want to let them know that you're preparing a certain promotion for them, for example, before Christmas. Then you can target only those people who follow your website, who follow your Facebook page. So the next thing that I would like to emphasize, and which is absolutely crucial to consider, is to custom your audiences. Custom audiences help you find your existing customers from all the people who are on Facebook. You can create a custom audience using a customer contact list, for example, from your website traffic or activity in your app. So the pixel code that you've just installed on your replica site will help you to customize the audience. So that's why I said it is absolutely essential to install the pixel code on your website or on your replica site, because thanks to that you will be able to gather some information which you will use later on in order to improve your campaign. And also you can create lookalike audiences. Lookalike audiences let you find more people who are similar to your best customers. It's a great way to use the insights you've gained from your Facebook marketing to find more people who love your products. So in my opinion, this is absolutely amazing tool to advertise your business and advertise your product. So let's move on and let's have a look where we are with our advertising campaign. So we've set certain details, and now we are here at this point where we detailed the targeting. So if you click the window here, then you can see the option like demographics, you can see interests, you can see behaviors, and you can see more categories. So let's have a look what's in there. If you open more categories, then you can see a few different options like family movies, nail care, but also you can see people with upcoming birthday. So I've just clicked that. I prepared a webinar a few days ago. When I clicked this option, I saw that there are 30 million people with upcoming birthday. So this is absolutely amazing. If you target those people or their friends, that may be astonishing. Also, you've got something which is called nail care. Obviously, if somebody is interested in nail care, they may be interested in skincare, don't you think? So let's move on and let's set some priority. I'm going to change some of these options here because, in my opinion, 8 million people for my budget is too much. It's too many people. The budget is not big enough to target 8 million people. So I'm going to target people who are 18 to 45, and I'm going to target only ladies because I think ladies are more likely to be interested in fragrances, are more likely to be interested in makeup, and are more likely to be interested in skincare. So I changed this priority, and also I defined my audience based on their interest. So I selected that my audience will be interested in beauty or beauty salons. They will be interested in cosmetics, fragrances, and also in spa products. In addition, I've selected people who will be interested in nail care and also who's got upcoming birthday. So take a look at the audience definition at the moment. From 8 million, 700,000 people, I've got now 2 million and 200,000 people. So this is my potential reach. My campaign is getting much better at the moment. I am more likely to target the right people at the right time. Now, the next step is to choose the connection. I can choose, for instance, that I would like to target people who like my page already. I can choose that I would like to target friends of people who like my page, because obviously they don't know about my business yet and they don't know about my page yet. Or I can exclude the people who already like my page because they know already about my business. So then I can target and use the money that I'm going to spend on the campaign to target people who are not familiar with my business yet and who haven't heard about FM Group fragrances. So this is entirely up to you, and the best way to see which option works for you is to test it, is to try. So also you can save the audience that you've already defined, and you can use this audience for during the next campaign. What you can do, you can create few different audiences, and then you can check which one works best for you. So let me have a sip of water. And now we're going to have a look what we've got. Here's the audience definition. Always when you create your campaign, make sure that you observe all of the changes that happen here. So how much can you spend and what sort of results you can get? The next step is to set the budget. You can set a daily budget of £5. If you set a daily budget of £5 from the total potential reach of people over 2 million, only from 700 to 1,900 people potentially will see your advert. If you increase your budget from £5 to £50 per day, then the estimated daily reach will be from 6,200 to even 16,000 people on Facebook. And then if you increase your daily budget with this, with that kind of defined audience to 100 per day, then your advert will be reached potentially by 11,000 up to 30,000 people. So that's why it is so important to narrow the audience rather than to make it so big. Because even with £100 per day, you are going to reach only 30,000 people maximum, and also this is only estimation. So when you set your campaign, and then when you see 20 million people, when you see 15 million people, is far too many people, and you're going to be unsuccessful with your Facebook advertising campaign. So make it narrow and define your audience very, very precisely. We're moving on. For this webinar purpose, I'm going to set the daily budget of £20. So that will give me an estimated daily reach between 2,900 and 7,700 people. That's not too bad. I'm gonna use this money in order to test whether the campaign works for me or not, before I will be prepared or able to invest a little bit more money. Then there is a very important step. You can choose the date, the starting date and the finish date of your campaign. You can run your advert set continuously, starting from today, for example, but also you can set a start and end date. I'm going to set the start date today, so the 8th of December, and I'm going to put the end date 15th of December. So my campaign is going to run for 7 days, but bear in mind that anytime you can pause your campaign, you can alter the text and you can alter the picture. So if you see that your campaign is going down, that not so many people are on the advert, perhaps you need to make some changes, and you can do that. So that's why it is so essential to analyze all of the insights that you will have access to if you have Facebook business page. Altogether, I'm going to spend £140 for my campaign. Then I'm going to click Show Advanced Options. The advanced options are about optimization for your advert delivery. If you click this window here, then you will select what do you want to pay for. So you've got 3 options here. The first option is link clicks to your website. The next option is impressions, and the last one is daily unique reach. What I can tell you about these options: if you select the first one, link clicks to your website, it means that whenever someone sees your advert on Facebook and they click on it and they will be directed to your replica site, you will pay for it. Impressions. You pay you only pay for 1,000 impressions. So impression is when the advert appears on somebody else's mobile phone or a screen, and then you will pay for 1,000 impressions as a package. And finally, daily unique reach, it means that Facebook will make sure that your campaign will be delivered to unique people, and no one is going to see your advert for 2 times, 3 times, or 10 times on their mobile phone or a computer screen. So my recommendation, if you want to promote your website, if you want to promote your replica site, is to select the first one. So you will pay per clicks. If you want to promote your Facebook fan page, if you want to promote your Facebook business page, it's better to choose impressions, because you want Facebook to deliver your advert to as many people as possible who will see your advert, and they will click on it and they will be directed to your Facebook page. And finally, daily unique reach. Here is quite tricky, because sometimes if we see some recurring adverts over and over again, we are more likely to click on it. So based on psychology, I think the daily unique reach will be the least effective. But this is absolutely very personal. This is my personal opinion. If you wish, you can try, because it may work for you. So I hope that so far everything is clear. So let's summarize what we've discussed so far. So what have you done so far? Step number 3. Number 1, you've customized your audience. Number 2, you've set your budget. And number 3, you've set duration of your campaign. Now is the time to create images and the copy. Facebook gives you 2 options. You can create your advert based on a single image or a video, or you can create an advert based on multiple images in one advert with no extra cost. So I'm not going to give you any suggestions here. The best way is to test it, but for this webinar purpose, I'm going to choose the first option, which is a single image or a video. In fact, I'm going to choose an image. So I've selected option number 1, and we're moving forward. So here I've chosen an image. You can choose your image from your Facebook, or you can choose an image from your computer. Also, anytime you can change the image, but you need to remember that the image must have certain dimensions. First of all, the image must be 1200 pixels long and 628-27 pixels tall. Anytime we can use this tool in order to crop the image if it's too long or too tall. It's not a problem. And also, a very important thing is, every time you create a campaign, Facebook will verify it according to the text. If you want to put on the image a certain amount of text, the text mustn't be bigger than 20% of the whole advert. You can use a fantastic tool which is called Facebook's grid tool to make sure that your advert does not have more than 20% text. If you Google it, you can find the particular website. Then you'll have the grid there, and you will select the small squares where the text appears. Then Facebook will tell you how many percent of the text constitute of the whole image. Because if you put too much text, then Facebook is not going to accept your advert, and then you have to alter it. So this is it. I've decided to choose this image for my campaign. We've got a few more options here. We can put some text, we can put some links. In fact, Facebook gives you a lot of space that you can use in order to let people know what's special about your product, what's special about your business, and why they should click on the advert. So let me show you an example of an advert that I found on Facebook. So here's a company, it's called Simply Measured, it doesn't really matter, but I just want to show you what you can put in order to promote your business using Facebook advert. First of all, here your logo and the name of your business page will appear. Just on the opposite side, there will be a Like My Page button, so people will have the opportunity to click on it and like your Facebook business page. Just below your logo, you will have a space to put some text. Here, there should be something encouraging, something interesting, something that will draw people's attention. The text may have up to 90 characters. Then, obviously, you've got the main picture. The main image should be 1200 pixels by 627 pixels. Make sure it's this size, because otherwise it's not going to work. Just below the image, you've got a space to put your headline. The headline may contain 25 characters. Just below the headline, you've got some space to put a little bit more text. You can put some text up to 200 characters there. Finally, there will be your replica site here, your replica site address here, and also the call to action button. The call to action button is so essential, and this is absolutely crucial to make it crystal clear what do you want your potential leads to do. Whether you want them to download your ebook, whether you want them to go to your blog, whether you want them to sign up for your free of charge webinar that you're going to run later on. Maybe you want to give them the chance to get some free samples. The call to action button depends on your strategy. And I discussed the call to action button during the first part of my webinar. So let's move on. So here is the space that you can put the headline. The headline will appear there. So I've put beautiful fragrances as an example. The text will appear on the top in here. So I've put amazing fragrances and skincare products that you can get at wholesale price. This is just a sample. I believe that you will be more creative than I was while preparing the webinar today. And finally, the call to action button is to learn more, because I'll be directing people to my replica site. So I want them to learn something more about FM Group fragrances. I want to learn them more about our skincare products and so forth. As soon as you've got it, you are nearly done. Then you can choose where do you want your adverts to appear. Whether you want the adverts to appear on your mobile news feeds, desktop, right column, audience network, or even Instagram. So also try to test which one works best for you. Before you place your order, just review whether everything is intact. So let's have a look what sort of advert, what sort of campaign we've prepared during today's webinar. This is the name of the advert. So my audience are people in the UK, in London, maximum 40 kilometers around London. They are ladies only at the age of 18 to 45 who speak English and who are interested in beauty, cosmetic, fragrances, spa products, but also who indicated in their category interest on their Facebook page that they're also interested in nail care products and who indicated their date of birth. So I selected ladies whose birthday is coming very, very soon. Also, I've selected that I'll be paying only for the clicks to my website, and my daily budget will be £20, and my advertising campaign will be run from today, the 8th of December, until the 15th of December. So that's the campaign, and the next step is to launch your campaign, see when the campaign is live, and then constantly analyze the results. So at the end of the webinar today, I'm going to tell you about some costly mistakes of advertising on Facebook that usually newbies make. So 4 Facebook ads mistakes to avoid. So what's mistake number 1? Mistake number 1. The first mistake that I would like to tell you about is this. You target too broadly. I've mentioned that already a few times today. So if you make a Facebook campaign, if you prepare a Facebook ad without having a clear strategy, then this is the reason that you will target too broadly. If you have a strategy, you will narrow your audience. If you don't have a strategy, you will be targeting very, very broadly. So this is a trap, and it is so easy to fall into it, especially if you are new to Facebook advertising. You want to pay attention to a few things when you're outlining your general targeting, but always keep in mind that wasted impressions are wasted money. So what do you need to consider? First of all, you need to consider age range. Number 2, you need to consider interests. Number 3, you need to consider location, not the whole UK in the first place. And then, because if you try to target 30 million people, then it's going to be too aggressive and it's going to be too costly for you. So if you take this under consideration, the possibility of being successful will be much, much higher. What's mistake number 2? Mistake number 2 is failing to test Facebook ads. So the second mistake is to fail to test Facebook ads. You don't have to gamble your money away on something that might work. First, invest smaller money, £5, £10 a day, to test different pictures, different text and different headings, and also different time and audiences you are targeting. Slowly get into the pool, and you might want to stay a bit longer later on if that works for you. So small steps with small budget, a lot of testing, then draw conclusions, and then you may invest a little bit bigger money. Number 3 is lack of clear CTA. CTA is call to action button. So the third mistake is lack of clear call to action button. You need to be crystal clear, as I said before, what do you exactly want your audience to do? Like your Facebook page, go to your website, buy something from you at a discounted price, sign up for a newsletter, or get some freebies, for example. They need to take action that you want them to take. Lack of clear CTA, it's a direct way to failure. And finally, mistake number 4, you leave your ad alone. So, since the average Facebook ad reaches its peak click-through rate in the first 3 days after going live, your campaign's performance during this short time, could harm the performance of the rest of the campaign. So you should monitor and change your ads during the critical first 3 days after your ad has been approved. So as I said, you can pause it, you can change the picture, you can alter the text, and then you can observe a second boost of your campaign. So these are the mistakes that, in my opinion, are the most common mistakes. And this is the end of the webinar about how to create a Facebook advert in a correct way, how to set a strategy, and how to avoid the costly mistakes that people make. Obviously, there's a lot of data that you will have to analyze while running Facebook advert campaigns, because only based on that data you will be able to improve your adverts, and you will be getting more clear about your custom audience and about your potential customers and business partners. So I hope that you enjoyed the webinar today. I hope that it was beneficial for you. It's been recorded and it's going to be uploaded to our website. So what I want you to do is to get the replica site, if you haven't done that yet. Try to set up the strategy that you are going to use while advertising on Facebook, and then while preparing the strategy, you can listen to the webinar one more time, and step by step you can create and select the different options in order to define your audience and set the budget and prepare the graphics and the copy very, very precisely. So thank you so much everyone for joining me. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks' time, and then I'm gonna tell you how to use Instagram for business purposes. So thank you so much everyone, and have a good night.